In today's biased news, China calls for diplomatic solutions to the new Cold War. Ukraine makes some military gains, and a ray of hope for Parkinson's patients. At the annual Association of Southeast Asian Nations Summit, Chinese Premier Li Qiang stressed the importance of avoiding a new Cold War and choosing diplomatic pathways to solve issues between nations. As geopolitical rivalries sharpen, mostly due to a resurgent Russia, waning American influence, and the growth of China's economic, hard, and soft power potential, Li stated that, quote, countries need to appropriately handle differences and disputes. At present, it is very important to oppose taking sides, bloc confrontations, and a new Cold War. In regards to bloc formation, many Asian countries have developed closer trade, diplomatic, and military connections with China, though some remain hesitant due to their existing relations with the US, which they do not wish to sour. Another major topic during the summit was the nature of the developments in the South China Sea, which is a contested area according to the various nations with trade routes passing through the waterway. Conversations were held regarding Chinese support for the DPRK, a renewal of talks between South Korea, Japan, and China, the supply of weapons to Russia, and the current political situation in Myanmar. The recent developments with the US pivot to Asia and other provocative actions only raise tensions and risk more dangerous escalation between major powers. American think tanks, political warhawks, and other representatives of capital continue to drum up desire for military confrontation between China and the US, to the detriment of the American and global population. Any serious confrontation would have disastrous consequences for everyone involved, aside from the shareholders of Lockheed Martin & Co., which, as always, makes transparent what truly drives American foreign policy decisions. In the ongoing conflict between Ukraine and Russia, Ukraine's military reports advances and strong defense along the front lines. They've retaken several small villages in the south, and are moving towards Melitopol to cut off the land bridge between Crimea and the Eastern Territories. Russia, and even some Western allies, dismiss Ukraine's offensive as a failure, but acknowledge challenges in some areas. The situation remains tense, with both sides claiming success in their strategies, and so far, the outcome remains uncertain. As always, the bodies on the front lines represent someone's child, parent, or spouse, all of them sent to die by the interests of capital and unelected oligarchs who will never know their names. Nigeria's presidential election tribunal is expected to rule on whether Bola Tinubu should remain president after rivals challenged his February election victory. The challengers, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, have alleged irregularities and legal breaches in the election process. The tribunal has the power to annul the election, and if upheld, Atiku and Obi can appeal to Nigeria's Supreme Court within 60 days. Tinubu, who is currently in India for a G20 summit, has faced opposition to his economic reforms, including the removal of petrol subsidies. However, he inherited significant economic challenges, including high unemployment, soaring inflation, and insecurity. Largely thanks to these challenges, Tinubu's electoral support has been the lowest for a Nigerian president since 1999. Armenia has announced plans to conduct a joint military exercise with the United States called Eagle Partner 2023. The exercise aims to prepare Armenian forces for so-called international peacekeeping missions. Russia has expressed concerns about this development. Understandably, as any time the US war machine spins up a new peacekeeping partner, some region of the world gets leveled, and the US's new friends are used as willing puppets in some flavor of war crime. The UK government is planning to designate the Russian mercenary Wagner group as a terrorist organization, making it illegal to be affiliated with or to support it. A draft order to be presented in Parliament will enable the seizure of Wagner's assets as terrorist property. In reply to a question regarding the British decision, the Kremlin said the Wagner mercenary group did not legally exist. The move to criminalize Wagner is purely symbolic, as no British subject has ever joined the group. Many have, however, joined the conflict as mercenaries for the other side, picking up arms not to defend Ukraine, but to hunt other human beings for sport. Ukraine's parliament has confirmed Rustem Umerov as the new defense minister of Kyiv, replacing Alexei Reznikov, who resigned from the position. Umerov, a member of the Crimean Tatar Muslim community, a financier, investor, and top privatization hawk in the country, assumed office after taking the oath during a parliamentary session. Reznikov, the former defense minister, played a pivotal role in securing arms deals with Western nations during Moscow's invasion, and it's likely that Umerov has been installed in preparation for the final sale and carving up of Ukraine's industry. And in positive news of the day, researchers at Duke University have identified a genetic biomarker for Parkinson's disease, which could potentially lead to the development of a blood test for early detection of the condition. This breakthrough could offer a means to diagnose Parkinson's before symptoms manifest, enabling earlier initiation of treatment. Such a test could have significant psychological and other health benefits for patients and their families, potentially advancing research and treatment options for Parkinson's. Of course, further research and validation are necessary before it becomes a widely used diagnostic tool. That's all for today. We'll be back day after tomorrow with more news. If you'd like to see longer episodes with more in-depth analysis, consider becoming a patron so we can grow and expand.